Welcome back to Junker with Junior. It's finally the week that I've been waiting on for a long time. It's LS Fest week. So, got to get the truck ready to go. Got it washed up last night. Got a coat of wax on it. Still got to, buff that off of it this morning. But we need to get the oil changed in the engine, and also I want to change the differential oil as well. Haven't done that since I got the truck on the road. So, it's got, 50-some thousand miles on that oil. Plenty of life left in the oil, but I just want to go ahead and change it so I know we got a good fresh start and ready to hit the road. So let's dive into this thing, get this truck serviced, so we're ready to head to Bowling Green, Kentucky. I can't wait. Alright, get our old filter spun off of here. Always got to make a mess doing it. No. Also, just a little FYI, so I like to run this Wix 51522 oil filter. It's a little bit longer. They do make the short one, but I just like to have the extra oil capacity when possible. And there's two different filters. Thread sizes for LS. There's a 13/16 and a 22 millimeter. This one is the 13/16, which is the earlier style that they had, standard thread, not metric, on that oil filter mount. But me, Wix has always been my go-to. I like them, and then we're going to get our fresh Lucas dumped in the top side of this thing once we get this tight and our drain plug tight and get back on the top. So, I'm definitely not sponsored by Lucas, but I'm just a huge fan of their products that are made in USA. So, that's what I've always ran in this truck. Just been good stuff. Can't go wrong with it. It feels good using it as well. So, what are we putting back in this engine? Well, I did pick up a quart of the heavy-duty oil stabilizer just to try to, help prolong the life of everything. And then we've got their 1040 high mileage. I don't know that we necessarily need the high mileage, but hey, that's what we got. And yeah, the engine does have, 40,000 on it in total because it had 80 something on it before I got it. So that's high enough mileage for me. So we'll do that. And then in the rear end, we're going with their 80-90 gear oil, non-synthetic, just traditional old mineral-based stuff. So let's get this thing filled up. Ooh-wee, look at the booty on that. Time to get this old oil out of here. So 14 millimeter socket, and we can run all these bolts out, all 14 of them. Big heavy duty 14 bolt GM life. So I'm not going to take the top ones all the way out. I like to pull the bottom ones, and I'll crack the top ones loose so that I can put a screwdriver in there and break that seal on the cover and just let it run out the bottom. I don't have to worry about it making a giant mess and the cover falling down and making a big splash. Ew. A little bit nasty oil, so glad we're changing it. Doesn't look terrible, just a little darker than I'd prefer, so not the end of the world. It's gear oil, so we'll get some fresh stuff in her and she'll be ready for the road. Well, just by doing a quick look at everything looks real nice inside there. Got the big 411 gear in there to get this heavy turd down the road. Nothing crazy going on, so we'll get that cover cleaned up, get it sealed up, and put back on there. So our cover's cleaned up. I wiped down the flange on the back of the rear end as well, so it's ready to be assembled here. So next step, we got to get some sealant on this cover because I don't have an actual gasket for it, so we're going with the Valco Cincinnati. I actually had the aluminum because I was working on some other stuff and was using it, and it's a really nice silicone. So we're just going to run us a bead around here, and I like to go over the bolt holes as well so that if there's any bolts that protrude all the way through, it's going to cover those up as well, the threads, and help seal them. So just a little thing to help go a long ways there. Got us a nice bead all the way around there. Not the prettiest, but it's all going to get squish flat and squish out anyways, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to get this thing positioned up under there, get a few bolts in it, and then get all of them in once it's held in place, and we can snug it down. Alright, time to fill this dude back up. I don't remember how many quarts this thing actually holds. It's been a long time since I've done this, but I got 4 quarts, so we should be good. Typical carburetor is going to be around 2.5. I was thinking this one's going to be 3 or a little better. I don't think we're going to use the entire 4, but we'll find out. At least it's an easy one to get to, and there's plenty of room for the bottle to stick out the side, because there's plenty of vehicles where there's no room for this big old bulky bottle to hang out the side. So some of the fluid manufacturers have actually went to bags with the fluid, so you can kind of wad them up and roll them, you know, to get all that fluid in there, because there's just such tight spaces on newer stuff. But we ain't got to worry about that. We're working on a square body. We got plenty of room for everything. Oh yeah, there it is. Wonderful sound. Alright, here goes the 3rd quart. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? We're there. Our 3rd quart, and it's completely full. Now we can just let that go ahead and run out so it can seek its own level in there. Put the fill plug back in it, and the back end of this square body is done and ready to hit the road. Okay, so we do need to fire up the engine so that we can let that oil pump through the system, and then we can check our transmission fluid as well. I want to check the power steering fluid so that we know everything is ready to hit the road. You know, just check all the basics that we can. Why wouldn't you? There it comes. Nice 40 pounds on a cold start. I'm good with that. Okay, so we'll let that circulate for a little while, warm up, get mixed up. Let's check that transmission fluid. Alright, get this thing out here in the light where we can see it a little bit. And it's full, and it smells good, so no issues there. I'm ready to hit the road with that. Check that off the list. Alright, so we'll get the engine shut off. Let that oil run back down to the pan, get it out of the cylinder heads and all, so that we can check our levels there, make sure we're good. And another thing I'm going to do is grease the front end. I think I did that last time I changed the oil, but you know, a little bit of grease on the front end can't hurt anything. Getting ready to put a few miles on this thing, so let's do all the little things that we can so that we know we're good and hopefully have a trouble-free ride. Of course, you know me, I take plenty of tools, but we'll just make sure we got everything that we need ready to go. Alright, so I had to put together a little toolkit. Got the old universal socket set that's got pretty much everything I think we could need in there. Grabbed a crescent wrench, 2 of them, pair of channel locks, flashlight, tub of towels, tape, zip ties, 3/8 and 1/2 inch impact soap. We should be able to you know, take care of pretty much anything. I don't know, there could always be something that we miss or something breaks. You just don't know. We're going on a road trip. Anything could happen, but we'll go as prepared as we can. Take some basic hand tools to try to cover a majority of the stuff. So it's time to get that loaded up. We got the grill in here, cooler, and we'll take a gas can just in case. I don't always trust this gas gauge when it gets down to low, so you don't want to be between exits and run out of gas, so we'll throw an extra in there just in case. But I think that's pretty much it. We're just gonna, you know, wipe down the seats on the inside and the floor mat, but this thing should be solid and ready to go. I mean, I drive it everywhere else any other time, so I'm not scared at all. Just go as prepared as we can. You don't want to be on the side of the road any longer than you have to in the event that something does happen. So gonna finish packing this thing up, final wipe down. Gonna get all the wax off the outside. I did that late last night, so gotta polish it off today, but fluids are good. Everything's ready to rock and roll. Top it off with gas, and this dude's ready to hit the road. So thanks for watching Junkovic Jr. See y'all in Bowling Green, Kentucky at Holley's LS Fest.